What's good, everybody? It's your boy EMW Figure Shelf back here, this time talking about WWE's Decade of Domination Series 2 by Mattel. We will be covering Kane and the Big Show. Before we get started with the review, I'd like to give a shout out to the seller down below. Thank you so much. The packaging on these was great. You know, the wrapping on them and everything, it was very professional, very safe. I almost didn't want to open them, and they're also a little hard to find here on the East Coast. You can't really find them right now. So I was able to get a hold of them on eBay for a reasonable price, a lot more than I would have wanted to pay, but I had no problem just biting the bullet. I really wanted these, and I will get into them a little more on the end of this video and whatnot, but without any further ado, let's just get right into it, and let's talk about the Big Show. As we take a look at the packaging is a nice callback to the early days of Mattel, circa 2010, 2011, and it just has a really nice look with the black and red with the kind of burst in the background. I really preferred this, honestly, over a lot of the iterations that we've had over the years. WWE Champion, World Heavyweight Champion, Intercontinental Champion, among others that have not been listed on here. Height 7 foot, weight 383, and at the bottom you see the rest of the figures in the series. As we take a look at the accessories, he has another pair of hands, which are very synonymous now with the WWE Mattel figures, which is a callback to a lot of the lines. And you see the WrestleMania 24 chair here. Although they couldn't include Floyd Money Mayweather on the advertisement, it's identical to what they had back then for the poster. As we look at the figure, Big Show stands at a very, close to 8 inches. Very in scale. As you see the tattoos here, this kind of like orange greenish tiger looks really good. The little TK at the bottom toward Big Show's right boot. As you turn the figure, you see more tattoo work. You see the little thing on top of his left shoulder. Can never really make out what it is. And same thing at the bottom with the little black and yellow design, and then Bess on the back of his neck. Overall, this is a really good figure. Not too many paint blemishes on my end. I really love this head stand. I'd say this is probably one of the best head stands I've seen at the Big Show. So overall, this is a really nice figure. There's not a lot of decal, not a lot of, detail going on as far as attire or deco goes. But honestly, you gotta have a Big Show like this. That's my personal thing. He's made a very nice impact as this look, as this, version of himself. So overall, really nice figure, and let's move on to the Kane. As we turn to the Kane figure now, we can see the same type of packaging, and now with Kane with his 2003 look that we will dive into. On the back of the packaging says, from parts unknown, height 7 foot, and weight 323. WWE Champion, World Heavyweight Champion, and World Tag Team Champion are his career highlights, among many others not listed. And at the bottom, you can see the other figures in the wave. Accessories here include the 2002-2003 era Kane mask, interchangeable hands, and the bald, quote-unquote, Uncle Fester Kane head. There's actually been a very interesting running change between that Kane head with one with a goatee and this one famously without. I don't know the entire specs of which is more rare than the other, but apparently there are 2 versions of this in existence. Alright, and now as we look at the Kane figure, he is sporting the half-shaven head and almost burnt-looking face look that he synonymously had on the June 23rd, 2003 edition of Monday Night Raw, where he had faced then World Heavyweight Champion Triple H, and on-screen general manager Eric Bischoff had said if he does not beat Triple H tonight in Madison Square Garden for the world title, that he would unmask, and rest is history. The sculpting on this is absolutely amazing. The sculpting of the hair, the expression, the burnt face here looks outstanding. And here's where these expressions that a lot of people are not a fan of come really into play. I'm a big fan of expressions in figures, and this really shines here. As we do a full turning, rotating of the figure, as you could see, it is actually very similar to the ringside exclusive figure back from 2010, 2011, about that time, which goes for a lot of money now. And honestly, if you're one of those sellers, I'm sorry. I respect the hustle, but, you know, get a life, or a job, or something. Sorry. Back to the review. The detailing on the boots is incredible with the molded straps, 3 of them, going around a black and red spike, which is going vertically up the middle of each boot. Everything else is pretty much painted on with black tights with 2 painted on red straps, and then a almost see-through kind of mesh-looking tank top that he's wearing with a lot of lacing and things like that, which is very nicely well done. Again, very similar to the earlier figure from about a decade prior. Now, I would like to add that the mask only fits on the bald head, and as we now shift gears toward that, I would like to mention here's where this figure becomes very tricky. I understand the concept of having a bald head with a goatee, as he never really had a clean-shaven look with the mask on, nor did he have a goatee without the mask. So it's a very odd situation, and obviously you cannot pose him with the mask on the half-shaven head. So it's a very odd catch-22 kind of deal, unless you want to be able to customize the head, or if you ever come across the other Kane to get it to where this looks a little more accurate, along with painting the around the eyes, because again, he had a little more of a burnt aesthetic at that time still. Only known issues I have with this figure is you can see there's a little bit of a black line at the neck seam there, as paint has been chipping off, and the head is not smooth enough to replace with the other head that it came with. So, 2 bummers there, but overall, I'm not going to let it take away from a great figure. I've been waiting to get a figure like this, based off of this era of Kane, as it was a great era of Kane. It ran its course, that's the only thing I could say, with him without the mask, but overall, he had a great run when he first unmasked. So definitely keep an eye out for the Decade of Domination Series 2, as my Walmart had unfortunately canceled these a while back around December. Don't go out of your way to pay a lot of money for them, depending on your want, but they should be coming up in Walmarts very soon, or already have, so be on the lookout for these. Thank you all for checking out this video. I hope you all enjoyed this review. Be sure to like, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't so already, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace!